He's a tall, elegant man dressed in an impeccable black suit with a short jacket, fitted shirt, and pants, always accompanied by a wide-brimmed hat that conceals his face. He roams the deep night along the solitary paths connecting Mexican villages, riding a massive jet-black steed. This is the tale of the Black Charro. Those who have encountered this enigmatic rider suspect that he is the devil himself, or at least closely connected to him. However, nothing harmful can be said about the Black Charro as long as the traveler allows him to accompany them to their destination. If dawn approaches, he will politely bid farewell and depart slowly, much like when the path leads near a church. But if, on the contrary, one succumbs to his offers to make the journey easier, whether by riding his horse or accepting his money, that decision marks the beginning of the end. Once mounted, the unfortunate rider will find it impossible to dismount. It is then that the Black Charro remounts his steed and rides off towards an unknown destination, ignoring the pleas or screams of his victim, who is never seen again. There are countless tales of Black Charro sightings. Let us share the story of Abundio Rosas. Back in 1896, Señor Abundio was returning to his home on the outskirts of Veracruz. Although the moon was out, it hid behind the treetops, leaving an eerie darkness. The shadows formed ghostly shapes, heightening the unsettling atmosphere. Suddenly, Don Abundio felt someone following him. He chose not to look back and instead quickened his pace, gripping the machete he always carried. Yet the presence seemed to draw closer. Cold sweat overtook him and he felt faint, but despite his fear, he decided to face whatever was following him. Turning around, he was stunned by a horrifying sight. A large black horse, its coat shining and sleek, stood before him. Its terrifying eyes seemed to burn with fire. On its back sat a tall, slender man wearing a black hat that obscured his face, giving the eerie impression that he had no eyes, nose, or mouth. Don Abundio was so terrified he couldn't even scream. He trembled with fear, even more so when the sinister Charro extended a hand, red with unnaturally long nails, and took a bag from his horse. He held it out to the frightened man. Don Abundio saw the bag open, revealing its contents. It was full of money, yet he refused to accept it. The rider offered it again, but Abundio still ignored him. Then, without a word, the Black Charro turned his horse and rode away. But Don Abundio never heard the sound of hoofbeats, a detail that terrified him even more. Once he regained his composure, he hurried home. Upon arriving, he was so shaken that he couldn't eat dinner. He recounted the encounter to his wife, who was equally horrified. As expected, neither of them could sleep that night. The next morning, Abundio rose early and went back to the spot where the mysterious Charro had appeared. He searched carefully but found nothing that could confirm the rider's existence. That evening, he had to pass by the same place again, fearful of encountering the Charro once more. But the figure did not appear. Not that night, nor on any other occasion. There were no further sightings. Time passed, and Abundio almost forgot about his encounter with the mysterious Black Rider. But one night, near his home, he came across the apparition again, this time with a deep, echoing voice. The Charro demanded that Abundio take the bag of money. Things had not been going well for Don Abundio's household. He had accumulated insurmountable debts, and his family was facing severe financial hardship. Overcome with fear and without daring to look back, Abundio finally accepted the bag of money. The Charro disappeared as mysteriously as he had appeared. Don Abundio used the money to settle his debts. He also purchased land and began building an hacienda. At first, it seemed everything was improving for the Rosas family. But one day, Adela, his daughter, went missing. People whispered that on the night of her disappearance, loud horse neigh echoed through the air. Shortly afterward, her grieving mother succumbed to sorrow and passed away. Don Abundio was left with his hacienda, but he was now a lonely, broken man, consumed by greed. For those who dared to make deals with the Black Charro must always face the consequences. The Black Charro is a popular figure in Mexican folklore. with many versions of his legend, yet all share a common theme: punishment for greed. Ultimately, they pose the eternal question: what would you be willing to sacrifice for money?
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!